Alright, the first section that we're going to cover is section 1.2, symbols and sets of numbers. And in this section, we're going to talk about 6 different operations. And the first 6 the 6 that we're going to talk about is the less than symbol, the greater than symbol, the equal to symbol, and then just like the less than symbol, we have the less than or equal to, the greater than or equal to, just like the greater than, and then the not equal to. So the 6 symbols, are really 3 of them, and then the other 3 kind of go with the first 3. And the difference between the less than and the less than or equal to is this symbol, if this is a true statement, if you're using this symbol, then it can only be less than. For this symbol, you can have something less than a number or equal to a number, and it would be a true statement. And just like that, the greater than, it can either be greater than or it can be equal to and be a true statement. So there's kind of like 2 things that can happen to make that a true statement. So let's look at our first 3 examples. We have 11 is less than or equal to 11. Well, 11 is not less than 11, but 11 is equal to 11. So this is a true statement. So just because it's not less than doesn't mean that this is false. Remember, the less than or equal to can be either less than or it can be equal to. For number 2, 8 is greater than or equal to 9. Is 8 greater than 9? No. Is 8 equal to 9? No. So this is a false statement. The next one is negative 11 is greater than negative 10. Now this one might be tricky, and before I begin telling you the answer on this one, I'm going to come down to the number line. And the number line, it is ordered in a certain way. We know that the positive reals are really easy to number. You have 0 and then you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it continues. Now you know that 2 is greater than 1 because anything to the left, when you're going to the left on the number line, you're actually getting less. So anything to the left is less. So that means that 3 would be less than 4 because 3 is to the left of 4. So that means that negative 1 would be less than 0 because negative 1 is to the left of 0. Negative 2, negative 3, negative 4, negative 5. Now let's look at these negative numbers. It looks like as the numbers get bigger in the negative side, they're actually getting smaller, which is kind of an illusion because I know that 5 is bigger than 4, but negative 5 is smaller than negative 4 because negative 5 is to the left on the number line. So let's look over here at number 3. Negative 11 is greater than negative 10. Now if I was to draw a number line to have negative 11, then I would have negative 10, negative 9, negative 8. Notice that negative 11 is to the left of negative 10, so that would make it less. So this would be a false statement. So if you ever get confused in greater than or less than, always go back to the number line. And remember, if it's to the left, it's less. Okay, now we're going to move down to translating sentences. So I'm going to bring this up a little bit. And when I translate sentences into mathematical statements, I'm actually taking the words and I'm going to write the numbers. So I have 7 is less than 11. Now this one might be tricky because we talked about the different symbols, but we haven't ever written them out without, just writing them down to begin with. So I have 7, and the is less than looks like an L. So anytime you see the less than symbol, think of that L shape, and you know which one's the less than. So 7 is less than 11. Now, they're not asking you whether it's true or false. They just want you to write it down. 5 is greater than or equal to. Now, if the L is less than, the other one is greater than. And remember, less than points to the left. Less than points to the left. L, either way. 5 is greater than or equal to, remember that or equal to has a line underneath it, 4. So 5 is greater than or equal to 4. Something else that could help you with your greater than or equal to is coming back to your number line. This side, this entire arrow is a less than sign. This entire arrow is a greater than sign. So, you know, it's greater if it's to the right, it's less if it's to the left, and maybe that'll help you narrow it down too. 20 is greater than 2, so 20, and then the greater than points to the right. And then negative 7. A negative 7 just has that negative symbol out in front. Is not equal to, that's our equal to with the slash through it, 7. So negative 7 is not equal to 7. Okay? Now we're going to talk about identifying sets of numbers. And before we do that, I think I'm going to stop our video right here.